Hi, my name is LK Way. I am the wellness writer for the True Age Now blog, as well as the wellness coach for my own personal wellness brand, Wellhouse. And today I want to talk to you about shaky legs as a result of having anxiety because of a severely distressed nervous system. So I had many symptoms. I had anywhere from like 20 to 30 different symptoms during my whole duration of having a distressed nervous system. And shaky legs is one of the symptoms that I had. And what did this feel like? Well, as you probably know, because you're most likely watching this video because you're dealing with something similar, is I would always have this sensation like I was very unstable in my walk. So when I would walk to the mailbox or I'd walk around the store, I would just feel like my legs were very unstable, like they weren't able to really support me. And because I had never felt anything like that before, it would make me very anxious. As a matter of fact, I got to the point where I didn't even want to go into the store because I'm like, I'm scared. Like, what if I fall? What if I fall down? What if, I look like I don't have it all together? I was very concerned about how I appeared in public because I literally felt like I was going like this. And of course it didn't really look that bad, but that's how it felt in my body. And I remember I almost got agoraphobia because the sensation of feeling like I couldn't walk was just so strong. But I was determined. I said, you know what? I feel like I can't walk. I feel like my legs are weak and they can't support me. I feel like I might fall down or fall over. But I was determined to go into the store. So I told my husband, I said, you know what? I'm going into the store and I don't care, I'm just going into the store because I refuse to let fear keep me from going into a store. And I did. And the whole time I felt like this, shaky and wobbly and insecure and unstable. But I did. I went in the store. I bought some salmon patties. And at this time in my life, I did start eating a little bit of fish. I'm a vegetarian. I'm actually want to incorporate I don't want to be totally raw vegan, but I did see a benefit in my body when I did do raw vegan for 30 days, which was very hard, by the way, but it was good to do for a little bit. Not something I want to do forever, indefinitely, but I could see a difference in my body from eating a lot of fresh vegetables and fruit. So that was a really good thing. But anyway, at this time, I felt like my body needed some fish. So I went and I got a salmon burger. And the whole time I was just so uncomfortable. But I did it. I got the burger. I went to the self-checkout because I didn't want anyone to notice how untogether I was. And then when I got in the car, I was like, I did it. And I felt like I was going to bust into tears because that was such a big thing. It was such a big deal to be able to do that. For those of you who are dealing with a severely distressed nervous system and you have very severe anxiety because of that, you may have even been diagnosed as having anxiety disorder. That's a big deal. It's a big deal to do something that's seemingly so simple and regular and normal. But yet the whole time you're doing it, you feel like I'm going to completely just fall out. Like I feel like I can't even just take this walk. Why is it that you're feeling your legs feel so shaky? Well, let me talk a little bit about what happens when your nervous system is not working properly. So you have your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic system. These are deep within your nervous system and they're part of the autonomic part of your nervous system. And these two parts of your nervous system are supposed to work together like this. Your sympathetic nervous system is supposed to, whenever there's a real emergency, it releases the cortisol. It helps your body be able to process a real emergency. So you have hormones that are released, your body tenses up, your body acts the way it's supposed to act when you're in a real emergency thanks to this part of your nervous system. Well, when that threat is gone, your parasympathetic nervous system, also called the rest and digest, is supposed to work with the sympathetic system and kind of calm you down from that intense whatever it was. Whatever that emergency was, it's supposed to calm you down. Well, in the event that these aren't working right and they're not cooperating with one another and your sympathetic's kind of stuck on the on and your parasympathetic system is not able to help you calm down, you have such an uneasy feeling, right? There are many, many different symptoms that happen because of this. But right now we're talking about having that sensation of shaky legs. So what's happening is that your nervous system is sending false signals, so to speak, to your body to where you feel like you can't do something that you really can do. So that's why you feel shaky, you feel unstable, but when you actually go to walk, you walk just fine. When you go to do a task, you do just fine. It's just that the entire time you're doing the task, you feel very uncomfortable. So what do you have to do? Well, the way that I got over this is I decided I'm not going to be afraid of going to the store. I had so many things I needed to do. And I had so many things I couldn't already do at this point in my life. Because again, I got stuck in the fight or flight state because my nerves were distressed. It took me forever to figure out what that was happening because we had to go through the process of elimination. So I had to do many tests. I had many emergency room visits. And even when I was experiencing this, I hadn't even got a diagnosis yet. But I knew when I first started experiencing it, when I found out what I was dealing with, I did have a better way of handling it, and I had more confidence in handling it, even though I was uncomfortable. So what do? What you do is you do what you have to do and understand that you are retraining your nervous system to understand that, listen, there's no true emergency here. I can walk. Now, mind you, you need to have gone to the doctor and have had tests done to rule out any serious conditions or any other conditions that this may be. If it is that you have a distressed nervous system, this is what you do. You have to retrain your nervous system as well as many other different things. Remember, I had over like 25 to 30 different symptoms. So I had to take a holistic approach to calming my nerves. I have a course where I get into detail about that. It's about 7 weeks long. But if you're dealing with just shaky legs, the approach is really quite simple. Understand that you're going to be uncomfortable. Your recovery is going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. You have to retrain your nervous system to understand, listen, I can walk. I may feel like I can't walk, but I can walk and walk. It's also very important not to overdo it because, again, if you have a distressed nervous system, it is because it has been overstressed. So you have been putting more pressure on yourself than you should. So when you need to go and do things that you need to do, by all means, go do them. But also take the time to rest. And I'm not just talking about sleeping, but I'm talking about resting. So throughout the day, rest. Do things that are not overstimulating for yourself. So whether that's watching a good movie, reading a great book, taking a nice walk. I actually got into coloring when I was going through this, something that I didn't really get because I didn't understand why adults would buy coloring books in color, but I actually get it now. It was very soothing, very therapeutic to the point where I actually made my own coloring books because I didn't like that the coloring books were so busy. And I'm like, it's going to take me like 10 years to finish this one page. So I wanted to be able to finish the page faster and feel like I accomplished something. Like, okay, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. I'm going to finish and not be coloring this for a whole 2 weeks. So I made mine that were a little bit more simple. But I did coloring. You can do knitting, painting, maybe go sit by the water. There was a time when I was going through having a distressed nervous system where sitting by the water, it felt so good. I didn't even get in the water. I was just like just soaking in the sun and just having peace. So you want to do these two things. What you'll notice is that the sensation of feeling like you're unstable in your legs will taper off to the point where you won't feel it at all. And you'll go about your regular business, being able to do what you've always done. But 2 things I want you to take away from this video is that understand that it's going to be uncomfortable before you get to where you don't feel the sensation in your legs anymore. It's going to be uncomfortable. Recovery is uncomfortable when you're dealing with a distressed nervous system and you're retraining your nervous system to understand that you can do something that it thinks you can't do. So it's going to be uncomfortable. And 2, make sure you are getting your proper rest. Don't overdo it. So do the essential things. If you need to go to the store to get food to eat, if you need to go somewhere that is vital and a priority for your life, do that. But if it's not, you need to take it easy. You need to rest. You need to do things that are not overstimulating your nervous system and not overstimulating you. All right. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope this was helpful information. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Definitely like the video if you felt it was helpful. And again, my name is LK Way, and I'm wishing you a great day. Take care.